And welcome to the Cardinals Nest here on HBC Channel 25, the sports show devoted exclusively to St. Mary's University. I'm Dean Beckman. This is Sports Information Director Donny Nadeau. And on Friday night here on Channel 25, we will have women's hockey action when the women's hockey team takes on Augsburg from St. Mary's University. It's a 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock dropping of the first puck. And we have Greg Moore, who is the assistant women's hockey coach for the Cardinals. And joining us is the junior forward, Haley Coolsaet. So Greg and Haley, thanks for being on the show today. And Haley, we're going to start off with you. You have not been on the Cardinals Nest before.
No.
You are from Grosse Ile, Michigan. Now you need to tell us where that is, okay?
It's actually an island in Michigan. It's about a half an hour south of Detroit,
Okay.
Closer to Canada.
All right,
So.
great. So tell us then, obviously hockey is pretty big in Michigan. So tell us how you got started playing women's hockey and then how you found out about St. Mary's and eventually came to St. Mary's to play hockey. You're now a junior.
I started out when I was 6. My older brother played, so I think I probably wanted to be like him and do what he wanted to do. So I picked up hockey, and then there was a lot of girls hockey there, actually, so I only played boys for probably a year or two, and then I started playing girls. So I played AAA all growing up, and then I played actually a post-grad year at home. And during the post-grad year, the old assistant coach from here came out and scouted me and told me to come and look at the school. So I just decided to come out here, and I ended up loving it.
Great. What's your major, Haley?
I'm a nuclear medicine major.
Okay, excellent. Well, we won't ask you any questions related to that. You would know the answers, but we wouldn't know the questions.
Greg, why don't you give people a little background on you? You know, obviously the Moore name isn't a stranger to St. Mary's, but talk a little bit about your playing days and then how you ended up being assistant coach.
Okay, I graduated from Woodbury High School in 2006. At the time, Coach Olson, I've known him since I was very little. You know, growing up, my father went to St. Mary's, graduated in the 80s, and kind of growing up, when I was a senior in high school, I knew that I wanted to go to St. Mary's as well, follow in his footsteps a little bit, play hockey as well. I spent my first year on the JV team while your son played ahead of me, and then my sophomore year, I got to see a game, and then junior year, got to see a few more, and then senior year, got to see a few more. And then after my senior year was over, I still had a few classes to take, a few credits to get so I could get my diploma. And I've known Coach Manor since I was about 10 or 12. And he asked me to help him be his goalie coach that 5th year while I was still finishing school. And then it turns out that our old assistant, Tenny McCabe, got a job being a teacher, and they asked me to stay on full-time and be his assistant. And I accepted and have never looked back.
Greg, is this something that you want to do? Do you want to become a collegiate coach, or what are you looking to do in the future?
Right now, I love it. I love the girls. I love working with them. I love competing NCAA. You know, and I love St. Mary's. I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. I love the town. I love the atmosphere around school. I love the people I work with. And definitely could see myself here for a long time.
And Greg, I'm curious to know, you were a goalie, you started out as the goalie's coach. Talk about the adjustment now becoming the assistant coach, where you have to help Coach Manor oversee all aspects of the game and not just the goaltending.
You know, it's been a little bit overwhelming at times. You know, me and Sarah Gustin, our goalie, yesterday had a goalie session, and we kind of talked about it a little bit, how I've kind of neglected the goalies a little bit, and you know, it is tough to have to watch, you know, all 5 people out on the ice and make adjustments at the same time, trying to concentrate on the goalies and what they can do better. It's definitely been, like I said, a little bit overwhelming at times, but definitely doing my best, and we're trying to make it work as best we can.
Now, I will say I think neglect is too strong of a word, but you also have the luxury of having Sarah as your goaltender.
Yep.
And so because she has so much experience, basically played every game in goal last year, you know, I think you're probably relatively comfortable with her. And I know you do have a new goaltender to work in as well, but you have a lot of experience back at that position.
We definitely have a lot of experience, and Sarah brings a lot of potential to the position. And, you know, it's better this year having Tori as well, that we don't have to rely on Sarah as much as we did last year, unfortunately. And it's nice that, I mean, they both have confidence in each other. They're both very good friends. They know that when they're not playing, the other one is just going to do just as good of a job. So it's kind of nice not having to rely on Sarah every single game like we did last year.
Haley, talk a little bit about your role. Only one senior on the team this year, so as a junior, I'm sure people are looking to you not only on the ice but off the ice to be a leader of that team. How do you approach that role?
It's a lot different just because it is my first year as an upperclassman, and in the past we've had so many. But I just kind of work well with Julie, and together we kind of not only just help people out on the ice, but we try to help out other people, like the freshmen with school and just like social aspects of going here. So it's not just all hockey, but helping out in other ways too.
Now talk about the honor of wearing the C. You are the captain of the team. Talk a little bit about that and what that means to you and what it means to what you need to do.
Yeah, I was really surprised. It wasn't really something I was expecting when I came into the season this year. Without Aaron here, that was definitely a big loss to the team, but it's really a big honor to be named captain, and I just want to be there for the rest of the team and kind of step up, be more of a leader, and hopefully get our team in the right direction.
I know it's an honor that's voted on by the team, but Greg, I'm going to ask you, why is Haley the captain?
When you watch Haley in practice or you watch her in a game, she really lets her actions speak for themselves. She doesn't do a whole lot of talking. She's always going to go out and work hard and do what's best for the team. There's not a selfish bone in her. She'll go down and block shots when she has to. And when time happens, she'll take the team on her back and do what she feels is best for the team when we need it. And I think a lot of people respect that. She's one that never gets in trouble off the ice. And she's definitely a very good role model for our younger players to see and picture themselves becoming someday.
Haley, you mentioned that Erin Stenset wasn't able to come back this year because of an injury, but she is helping out as an assistant coach. How nice is that to kind of have that bridge between Coach Moore and Coach Manor and the team with a player like Erin who really can kind of probably relate to you guys maybe even a little better than they can?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually really nice. I'm really happy that she decided to stick around, and I mean, it wasn't in the cards for her to play this season, I guess, but I'm glad that she decided to stick around, and she still helps us out a lot. She does have a little bit more of a connection with the rest of the team than the other two coaches do, so it's definitely a good influence having her there.
Haley, we'll ask Coach Moore this question as well, but as you look at the season now, where has the team excelled? What are some of the strong points of this team, and where are the areas that you think this team still needs to work on and improve?
I think so far, just the transition, our team's been doing a good job. We have a lot of younger players. We don't have as many upperclassmen that we usually have, but the players that we did bring in this year have made a really big impact. We've done really well defensively. Our penalty kills have been great. Our goalies have done really, really well this season. They've helped us out a lot, but I think for the rest of the season we really need to focus on burying the puck more. We don't have enough goals, and we can't just win by playing defense. We have to put pucks in the net if we expect to start winning games.
And Greg, this Friday night right here on HBC, it's 6:45. We'll have the game with Augsburg. The puck drops at 7 o'clock. Do you agree with Haley's comments there about just trying to generate and kind of force some more offense?
Oh, definitely. But that, I think, comes with a little bit more smarts. One thing I think we've done really well this year is our effort level has always been there. We've always come out and given everything we've got in every game, and sometimes we give so much that we forget that there's a mental side of the game where you got to play smart. And I think the offense is definitely going to come when we start playing just a little bit smarter, kind of finding those soft spots in the ice, finding the good passing lanes, and taking the chances when you got them.
It's interesting. I was talking to Coach Manor after last weekend's games, losses to St. Thomas, and yet he felt that in both games you really played well enough to win. It's almost one of those things where right now you're putting so much pressure on yourself to try and get over that hump that the puck just doesn't seem to bounce your way.
And sometimes that happens. I mean, there were definitely times when we had good offensive zone time, and one bad pass happens, and we start, oh, this is happening again, and it's kind of one of those things where bad passes are going to happen. You're going to mess up. Nobody's perfect, and when those things happen, you just got to keep pushing on and try and work for the next opportunity.
Haley, talk a little bit. Last year, you guys played 8 overtime games, and you had 6 ties, which obviously is a school record. But this year, you've played 2 overtime games, and you've won both of them. Did you learn from last year, those overtime games, and maybe were able to take something into this year that kind of changes what happens when you go into overtime?
Yeah, I think we're definitely doing better with the overtimes. With the way the season's been so far, we've lost a lot of games. I kind of wish that we had maybe gone into more overtimes. But I think the players that did return, we did have more experience, and we realized that you only have 5 minutes. You need to put a lot more effort in if you're expecting to come out with a win.
Haley, it's kind of funny you talked about scoring more offense and generating more offense, because just by virtue of being on this program, you're guaranteed 2 goals this weekend. I just want to alert you to that ahead of time. It's called the Cardinals Nest Bounce. But also, if one of you two could tell us a little bit more, February 2nd, you have the Pink the Rink night. If you could tell us what that's about, breast cancer awareness, I presume?
Yes. Every year we try and do a game to promote breast cancer awareness, and it just so happens this weekend we have back-to-back games in February with St. Ben's next weekend. And we're just trying to raise money for breast cancer awareness and the Relay for Life. Any donation, every year we always have a team that does, or our team does Relay for Life, where it's an all-night walkathon, and basically you raise money for the cancer society. Mm-hmm. So we're just kind of trying to tie this in with that event and try and raise some more money for our team to give to the American Cancer Society.
All right, so as we look ahead at the schedule here, Augsburg on Friday here on Channel 25, that Pink the Rink night is against the College of St. Ben's. That's actually, and then on the 2nd, so you've got a couple of back-to-back home games on both Friday and Saturday.
Yep, it'll be nice. And the one thing that we were talking about a little bit before the show is we haven't really had a whole lot of Friday night home games, and a lot of our Saturday games are afternoon, so it's kind of nice bringing the atmosphere of a nighttime game and hopefully bring the students out and get good support for those 2 home games Friday night.
Talk a little bit, Haley, talk a little bit about that. Greg brought up the point of getting fans into the seats. How important is that, and how much of an advantage or a boost is it to be playing in front of a good home crowd?
I think it definitely helps out a lot when you look out in the stands and you see friends or family or people that you know that are just there to support you and support the rest of the team. That definitely helps out, and then it always kind of motivates you to do a little bit better just because there are people that you know watching and you don't want to disappoint anybody, I guess. So it's really nice to see a lot of people out there, and our team tries to go and support other teams on campus, and kind of all the rest of the teams try and do the same. So it's good to see people.
Greg, I think she brought up a really good point there, because I know I've seen you when you haven't had a game, a Friday night, and you guys have been at the men's hockey games. I've seen you at women's and men's basketball games, seen you in the fall in the soccer games. In fact, I got to give Brianna Peterson and Taylor Irish just credit for helping volunteer to soccer games. And how important is that, Greg? You were a player here, and to have a team that's that willing and that supportive of other student athletes on campus, that's pretty special.
Yeah, it is, and it definitely brings an extra gear when you see your friends or your roommates or people you live down the hall from come and show up at your game, and just love St. Mary's as much as you do, and want to support the school and the athletic teams, and definitely has been one of the things we've been pushing with, especially with our team going out and supporting the other teams, because if you go to their games, hopefully they'll come to your games, and soon enough we'll pack those crowds and pack the stands and get some good atmosphere like there was last night for the St. Thomas women's basketball game.
And the neat thing is it's not just the students either. You're getting a lot of faculty members, a lot of staff members that are coming to support Cardinal athletics as well.
And I think that goes a testament to our character and our academics. Faculty wouldn't come to athletic events if the student athletes weren't respectful and showed interest in their lives as well. So it definitely is a testament to our character and our academic life, is getting those teachers and staff members involved as well.
And then one final question for each of you. They are different questions, though, and Greg, we'll start with you. I want to touch on recruiting a little bit, because we had Ryan Egan, the men's assistant coach, on a few weeks ago. We've had your dad, who's the head men's coach on the program before, and you know how much he recruits.
Yeah.
How much did you take from him as far as learning how to recruit, because that is also sort of a new added responsibility for you?
Definitely a lot. You know, the one thing that my dad does very well, and Donny can attest to this, is he loves to talk. And the man can't walk up to any person and not talk to him for 10, 15 minutes. So, you know, I definitely learned a lot as far as how to relate to people, you know, how to keep them interested, as well as, you know, trying to sell the university and telling them, you know, St. Mary's could be a good spot for you. Definitely how to react to coaches and talk to coaches and get useful information, as well as trying to keep them in the loop as well.
Sure.
So definitely have taken a lot from him. I've taken a lot from Coach Egan. I've taken a lot from Coach Manor. It's all about getting different opinions and seeing what's worked best for you.
All right, and Haley, final question for you. You still have, of course, your senior year left. After that, do you think there's a future at all in coaching for you in hockey, or some other aspect of hockey?
I'm not really sure. I've talked to a couple friends that I played with back in high school, and we've always said that we wanted to coach a team together one day. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting my degree here, so I kind of want to put that to use.
Right,
it's an expensive degree, so I don't know. Maybe one day. I think it would definitely be something I'd be interested in.
Good, good. All right, well, Greg, Haley, thanks for being on the program, and good luck here this weekend against Augsburg.
Thanks.
All right, stay tuned to the Cardinals Nest. Donnie and I will be right back to talk about St. Mary's women's basketball, which knocked off St. Thomas. That and a whole lot more coming up next, right here on HBC.
So you know how some cable companies have these bundle deals where if you purchase their TV, telephone, and internet together, you save? At HBC, we're taking it one step further. Get your TV and phone service through HBC, and we'll give you internet absolutely free. That's right, free. And you still save money. Some packages can save you up to $660 a year, and it's all backed by our 30-day guarantee. The best part? Free internet is available to all customers, new and existing. Go to hbci.com to see which free internet package is right for you, or call 888-474-9995.
You know, we're doing things in bus magazines and the newspapers and things like that, and it's just like we seemed like we needed a different media, and we thought, you know, TV, perfect. Laura, she is awesome. She came out the first time. She was very, very personable, tends to your needs. I mean, anything that you needed, she was right there. I literally, seriously, have been wanting to make more commercials just because it was such a great, fun process. I would recommend HBC to anybody.
Call Laura for details on how to get a free commercial for your business.
A state-of-the-art fiber optic network. Sure, you've all heard that. But what does it mean? Well, if you're an HBC customer,
It's television in crystal clear high definition and whole home DVR. Blazing fast internet speeds, perfect for gaming or movies. Phone service with your choice of features, including unlimited long distance. And now, HBC has expanded service throughout much of southeast Minnesota. Call today and see what it's like to be on a state-of-the-art fiber optic network with a local company receiving national recognition for their service.
And we're back here on the Cardinals Nest. Dean Beckman, Donny Nadeau. Donnie's the sports information director for the Cardinals, and he had plenty to write about with the women's basketball team as they took on St. Thomas. And Donnie, since our last program, they've actually played 3 games, undefeated in all 3, but none more important than Wednesday night. They took on St. Thomas, tied with Concordia for first place in the conference. And for the first time in 10 games that they played St. Thomas, going back to 2007, they knock off the Tommies at home.
Just a huge win. And you know, we were joking with Haley about the Cardinals Nest bounce. You know, Courtney Early, since she was on this show, has been absolutely unbelievable. And she had another huge game against St. Thomas. And, you know, we've talked a lot about this team and the depth of this team, but in a game like that against St. Thomas, it was the 3 veterans that really came through and led the way. You've got Jamie Steffley with 23 points. You've got Courtney with 14. You've got Jess Stone with 10. You know, those 3 really, I'm sure, provided not only, you know, the leadership on the court, but on the bench, in the timeouts, and, you know, they just played phenomenal basketball.
And we're seeing all the baskets here early on from Jamie Steffley, and she really carried the Cardinals offensively early because St. Mary's got off to a slow start, actually trailed 15-3, and then Steffley came on and so on. But I thought the play of the game, and this is where Courtney Early comes into it, she was phenomenal here, getting into the offense. I think that was her first basket of the game. but she started to score and then blocking shots. She was just a absolute terror inside, blocking shots, and the play of the game, in my opinion, she just completely hammered a ball to the ground. That got the crowd really into it, and I think frustrated Smith, the inside player for St. Thomas, a little bit.
No question.
And after that, the Cardinals just soared.
Yep, I think what it is Jamie and Courtney took advantage of their size. And, you know, there were times that you'd see Courtney standing in the lane just holding the ball up in the air, looking for Jamie, who would put her hands up. And it was like passing over a couple of, you know, a couple of shorter players. And I think they worked really well together. And while, you know, that block was certainly huge, I think what really helped them was Jamie Steffley's play from the free throw line.
Right.
You know, you've got a 2-point game, and she's at the line, and she makes the first one, misses the second, and goes in and gets her own rebound, gets fouled, and then makes those 2 free throws to make it a 6-point game. And really, that kind of solidified that victory. And I think that more than anything, this game, and like you said, you know, St. Thomas was tied for the league lead. Certainly an outstanding team. They were unbeaten in conference play last year, so we knew going in it was going to be a tough game. But I think the ladies proved that they're as good as their record, and at 11-3 right now, they're 1 game out of first place. Concordia leads the league at 12-2, and then there's 4 teams at 11-3. So I think that St. Mary's is proving that they are every bit as good as the record that they've put together. And you know, certainly those 3, I think you really have to tip your hat to those 3 in this game, in that I think they really did solidify that win. But you had some great performances from Bridget Pethke. She settled down after a little bit of a rough start. And
here's the block right there.
Yep, there it is. There it is. And you're
block.
Absolutely right. What a phenomenal play. But you know, they're getting good play from everybody, and you have to. If you're going to be successful in this league, you can't rely on 1 or 2 people. And they're doing a great job of passing the ball around and passing that leadership role around. And right now, Jamie Steffley is kind of that leader. She was the MIAC Player of the Week last week and had a great week. Now you've got Jess Thone, who was honored before the game on Wednesday. She scored her 1,000th career point against Hamlin on Monday. So, you know, you're getting these 3 individuals who really are kind of leading the way as this team kind of gets into some uncharted territory of battling for a conference title. Have not done that in a long time. And it's very exciting. It's a huge buzz on campus. And you know, no offense, but anytime we can beat the Tommies, it's always a good day to be a Cardinal.
Right. And, you know, Jess Thone, we talked a lot about Steffley and early, but Thone had 8 assists in that game. And I thought, too, a big reason why the Cardinals were able to come from that big deficit and end up with the victory.
Well, 8 assists, and she had 9 rebounds.
Right.
You know, she was 2 assists and a rebound from a triple-double. And we haven't had one of those in quite a while. But I think it just shows that everybody on this team has a role, and sometimes those roles change a little bit. You know, Jess certainly isn't a post player, but she knows how to get in there and get rebounds. And you know, Jamie was doing a great job of you know, distributing the ball where it needed to be and knocking down her shots when she needed to. It was a great team effort, and I think that one of the things that gets overlooked and we haven't really talked about is I think you really need to tip your cap to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Mandy Pearson and Jenna Freudenberg and Brett Basie did a great job. They had a great game plan set up for that game, and you could tell that early on, 15-2, quickly Coach Pearson calls timeout, gets the team together, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 18-15. And so I think that, you know, as much as the players play the game, I think that the success of this team, certainly you have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, because they're really done a nice job of putting together a very talented team.
Related to that, what I was impressed with is after the game, the team acted like they were supposed to win. They didn't act surprised. They weren't overly celebratory. They acted like, yeah, we knew we could do this.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting thing, because I talked to our photographer after the game, and I said, did you get any good celebration pictures? And he said, well, not really, because they really didn't celebrate. Right. And you're right. I think that this team has proven that they belong where they are. This game was not a fluke, and they expected to win. They came to the SMU gym expecting to win that game, and went out and got the job done. And I think that you look at falling behind 15-2 against a team of the caliber of St. Thomas, and for them to come back and win that game, that says a lot about this team and about the character of the players and the determination. They weren't about to fold in and throw in the towel, and they just continued to battle and did a great job.
One more thing on the women's team, tough schedule now. They have St. Kate's this weekend, then next Wednesday home to Gustavus, another one of those top teams. Gustavus did beat the Cardinals earlier this year. And then next Sunday, they have Concordia, which is the top team in the conference now that St. Thomas was beaten last night. So very, very difficult and an important part of the schedule left.
No question. And I think that, again, I think Wednesday's game proved one thing, and that is that the Cardinals wanted another shot at St. Thomas. They want another shot at Gustavus, and they want another shot at Concordia. Those are the three teams that have beaten St. Mary's this year. They got their shot against St. Thomas and took care of business. Now on Wednesday, they'll have to do it again against Gustavus. And the Concordia game's going to be tough because they'll have played on Saturday against Carleton at home, and then they turn around and they've got to play Concordia on Sunday. So it's a very big week. Starting on Saturday with St. Case, they've got 4 games in 8 days, so it's going to be a big week for them and some very tough opponents.
The men's team had a real tough loss, a 3-point loss to Augsburg, and then lose to Hamlin and St. Thomas. Of course, St. Thomas, the #1 team in all of Division III.
Yeah, I think the problem with the St. Thomas game is you're catching the Tommies 2 days after they suffered their first loss of the season, and I'm sure they weren't in a very hospitable mood on Wednesday. But you know, the Cardinals are playing. They're not playing poorly. They're just falling behind early, and it's making it tough for them to come back. And I think you've really got to tip your cap to Will Swigum. He's just been playing phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
And he isn't playing like a freshman. He had a career-high 24 points against Augsburg, turns around and gets 23 points against Hamlin on Monday, and had 15 against St. Thomas on Wednesday. So he's really kind of coming into his own and doing a nice job. And Evan Peterson continues to run that team like the floor general he is, and he had 10 points against St. Thomas, and he had 22 points against Hamlin on Monday. So he's doing a nice job of distributing the ball, but also doing a really nice job of knocking down the shots when they're there for him.
And Donny will have the men's hockey team here on Saturday on HBC. That's a 7:15 pregame, 7:30 first puck in that one. And they took on St. Thomas last weekend. Andy Scheib, what a Friday night performance from him. Shuts out St. Thomas. Unfortunately, the Cardinals don't get any goals either, so that was a battle of the goalies in that one. Now, even though things didn't go as well in the 7-2 loss Saturday night, have to tip your cap to Andy Scheib. What a performance.
No question. You look at that, he's got a season-high 38 saves in getting that first shutout of his career, and then he turns around and has 37 saves the next night. So 75 saves against, arguably one of the top teams in the country, if not the West region. It's a big point. St. Mary's has never had a 0-0 tie before, so it's kind of interesting. But that's a big point for them to get that 1 point against St. Thomas. Right now, St. Mary's is sitting in 3rd place, a point behind St. Olaf, and a point ahead of Concordia and Bethel. We've already played St. Thomas and St. Olaf. We still get another shot at Concordia. We've got St. John's yet. So we've got all those teams that we still have to play. And, things are looking really good as we begin the real stretch run for trying to get into the playoffs.
Yep, definitely a bright spot. And finally, Donny, the swimming team finally back into the pool after about a month layoff, and also track and field team got underway.
Swim team did a nice job. Mark Ross has been the team leader for so long that we just say his name, and he's doing a great job. And they've got a big meet this weekend at St. Catherine. Track teams kicked off their indoor seasons, and you got to tip your cap to the Booker sisters. Coco Booker won the shot put, and her younger sister Maya won the weight throw. Coach McMahon very excited about Maya's performance. We always kind of expect that from Coco now, being a returning all-conference performer. We expect her to be among the top throwers in the conference, but for Maya to come through and have a great performance in her first indoor, really her first weight throw competition of her career, a great performance, and really hopefully a sign of good things to come in the future.
St. Mary's hockey this weekend right here on Channel 25, both Friday and Saturday nights. Thanks for watching the Cardinals Nest on HBC.